Somebody asked me in my DMs, what is a developmental evaluation and how do I know if my child needs one? So I thought it would be helpful to make a video about it. So a developmental evaluation is typically done with when there are concerns related to a child's development. So if they're delayed in one or more areas of development, that can indicate something's going on, right? Typically it's autism spectrum disorder is the suspicion, and so your child's pediatrician may recommend it to either rule out or confirm a diagnosis. If your child is under the age of 3 and is in early intervention, the early intervention provider may suggest scheduling a developmental evaluation. And I feel like it's probably better to err on the side of caution and go ahead and schedule it if somebody has suggested it, because the wait list is like ginormous. It can be like up to 2 years once you finally fill out all the paperwork that's required before you can even make the appointment. So I think it's important to jump on that as quickly as possible if it's been suggested to you for your child, and you can always cancel the appointment. So say like 2 years go by and your child's appointment is coming up and there are no concerns and your child is meeting all of their milestones and they're doing really well, just call and cancel the appointment. But if 2 years go by and you haven't scheduled the appointment and there are still some concerns related to your child's development, then it's going to be another 2 years of waiting because you've lost those 2 years, if that makes sense. And what a developmental evaluation looks like is it's done by a diagnosing physician, because at the end of the evaluation process, the child will either get a diagnosis or not, and only a diagnosing physician can give a child the diagnosis. So they're going to look at all 5 areas of your child's development, and that includes their motor skills, like their gross motor skills, how they navigate their environment using the larger muscles in their body, their legs and that, all that. And then their fine motor, how they pick up and manipulate small objects, and their finger strength and their hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. And then they're going to look at their communication skills, and communication is comprised of expressive and receptive language. Expressive language is how we are using signs, words, gestures, nonverbals to communicate and make requests. And receptive language is how we are responding to and understanding spoken language. Another area of development that will get looked at is cognition, and the cognitive area. So they'll look at your child's attention and memory skills, their problem-solving skills, their perception and concepts, and their pre-academic skills as well. And they will also look at their personal social skills, how they interact with adults around them, familiar adults, and how they interact with peers. And then the last area that they'll look at is the adaptive area of development, and that's like feeding skills, self-care skills, and that kind of thing. And what the developmental evaluation looks like is it's either like a 2 or 3 part process. It's a long, drawn-out process. The first 1 or 2 visits would be the doctor or the diagnosing physician would be looking at asking mom and dad a bunch of questions about the child. And then the last visit before the doctor either makes the diagnosis of ASD or not is they're going to watch your child at play. So they'll have like toys out, and they may create scenarios where your child is going to have to go through some type of a transition, like from a preferred to a non-preferred activity, or they might put a toy up on a high shelf that your child was playing with to see how your child will react, and let the person or someone in the room know that they want that toy back. It can be stressful. It definitely can create anxiety and stress in a child. So if you're not comfortable with that, you can just ask the doctor or the evaluator to ask you how your child does in those types of situations to avoid stressing your child out, if that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this helped. Have a great day, everybody.